Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about behavior of isopods in general, and more specifically giant canyon isopods, which are the type that I have. Now, while I'll be talking about this, I'm going to be doing some work on this terrarium because it needs to be sprayed down, and I'll kind of show you. This is like only isopod. The only thing I have in here besides springtails are isopods. So this is like basically my isopod grow out tank, if you want to call it that. What I'd call it is like my garden, because I keep, I keep it really nice looking and do a lot with the plants and stuff. Sadly, I will be taking down this tank in about, at the very most, about 2 weeks, hopefully this weekend, because I will be setting up my gecko's new cage, which will be much bigger, and I'll be putting all these plants into it along with the plants that are up in his cage. And yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so I do not think there'll be anything that I'll need to trim really today. It'll basically just be spraying it down, which should be pretty easy. So I have this pump sprayer. Now, when talking about behavior of giant cyan isopods, or giant canyon isopods, I always get confused with what they're called. Basically, like most isopods, and if you live somewhere that you can find them, which I'm pretty sure it's pretty much everywhere, that you can just go out and find them outside, unless you live in a really cold climate, then basically where you're going to find them is under the leaf litter and under dead stuff, or in the case of my iguana's cage, by dead stuff I mean like dead plants, or in the case of my iguana's cage, you're going to find it where where you put the food. If you have a herbivore or even a carnivore, sometimes, like, I've been told that like dead crickets, isopods will eat dead crickets, but mine only eat, well, in this one I assume they just eat decaying matter, so like the wood that's in the dirt and like dead plant leaves that I put in here. Sometimes I'll put like some moldy, gross, like lettuce or something like that from my dubia roaches. So basically they kind of eat whatever they can. Mostly they kind of just help things decompose, so they'll eat the dead stuff, like I said. So what you're going to do, where you'll find them is actually in the ground, and at night they'll come out more, but it's kind of, they're kind of hard to see because they'll still hide under the leaf litter. So that's basically the behavior of them. How they interact with other things in the tank. If you have like a crested gecko or an iguana even, the iguana and the crested gecko might eat them in the tank, which is fine for them. They do have kind of like a hard-ish shell, but the whatever's eating them should be fine, and they won't bite or try to like hurt your animal in any way. At least I haven't ever seen them do anything like that, and that's why they are safe to put in terrariums with lizards and tortoises and snakes and frogs and stuff like that. So now that I'm done watering down this terrarium, I think that should be good. I love this terrarium. I want to basically, when I do that's pretty much it for the isopod section of this video. Basically you're just going to find them around the ground. They're just kind of looking for food, either under food, just breaking stuff down, and really basically working. They are the cleanup crew of the terrarium, and they really keep it going. And I'll look for one real quick in my iguana's cage to show you guys at the end of the video. But I am now that I am done with watering down this terrarium, I'm now going to use an old t-shirt. That's what I'll always use, because I don't really like using cloth or towels, because they'll leave stuff on the glass, and I'll just wipe down wherever it's wet to make sure there's not any dirt or water stains, because water stains look really annoying and gross. and I know there are some in this terrarium because it's hard to get everywhere. So basically with my new gecko's cage, what I'm trying to be solving the problem of is, first of all, it's too small. The 20 gallon that I have, I think is too small for my gecko. Most people will keep the geckos in a 20 gallon, but the problem with mine is there's a lot of it that's actually used up by expanding foam, and when I made it, I had the gecko in mind, but I hadn't kept a crested gecko for any amount of time really. So I didn't know what it would be like to keep it. So in the new one, what I'm going to try to do is have an open space in the front like this one has. So like as you can see, everything's kind of low to the ground in this one. That's not how it'll be in the gecko's terrarium, because there'll be a back wall and have plants growing. There'll be plants growing off the back wall. So they'll still be out. But the problem is with the gecko's cage is it just comes too far out that it's really hard to do anything in the gecko's cage. So I want an area in the front like this that it's just kind of more bare, maybe have like plants like this. And then in the back I want to have areas where the gecko will hide, but also for me to still be able to get to it, especially with a 30 gallon. It'll be much bigger, and it'll be wider than this, but not by too much, and it'll be taller. So I'm going to want to be able to put my arm in there and get him wherever he is on the back without having anything too much in the front. So like as you can see here, again, this kind of gave me experience with terrarium like this. I'm going to have to clean the front, but there's a stick going all the way to the front. We don't want that because it makes it a lot harder. It may look cool, but it also has to be functional as a terrarium that I can clean and still keep going and everything. So hopefully I'll get the 30 gallon how I want it, and I kind of have a plan. So hopefully I have an idea in my head of what I want, and hopefully I'm able to execute that properly. So if you want to see me do that, I'm going to be doing that really soon, or by really soon I mean probably within the next month, considering these videos get posted the day that I make them, but the other videos, most of them don't, so it'll probably be a little while before I get that out to you. But if you want to watch that, and you can go back and see my other videos that I've made on making custom backgrounds and terrariums and stuff, then you can subscribe. Also, I have a playlist section of this YouTube channel that you can go back and visit whatever you want. If you're into trying to figure out how to care for isopods, I have other videos on isopods that would be in the animal info section of the playlists. And also, if you want to see me do other stuff on terrariums, you can go to the animal maintenance area of the playlist, or just check out any of my other videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if you want more content, then subscribe. I hope you have a fantastic day.